Today's episode is the second half of a very interesting Adult League match that we did the first half review in the last episode. So you can see that in a link in the description below if you want to go back and see what happened in the first 13 decisions. But there is quite a bit of cursing in this second half. It is Adult League. There's a lot going on, but if you're sensitive to cursing, you should probably stop watching now because it happens a lot through this.
That just means he's scared of you.
Okay, in minute 42, a couple minutes into the second half, we've got our first decision, and we think it's an incorrect decision. So blue is kind of on an attack here, white's defending, and then right there ends up getting contact, and you see the player even looks like he got clipped, right? Yep. Now, in real time, I thought it was just a loose ball, and they both kind of hit the ball at the same time, and there wasn't a lot there, but you know, with the benefit of being able to play this a few times and slow motion it, it looks like white kicks the ball back in and then blue comes through, kind of misses it, and really has some illegal contact on his ankle. So about a minute later, we've got a call that I made a no call on the pitch, but some people wanted a handball. So let's watch here, right? There the ball goes up and it does hit this player, but what I really saw was that he was starting to sprint, and so he kind of just had his arm out. And yes, his arm is out, but as soon as he saw the ball coming, he's rapidly pulling that arm back in.
As soon as he sees that ball coming, he's retracting the arm, which you can tell was his next move as a result of that ball striking his forearm, and then the next move, the ball hit his chest. If it striking the forearm, it would go this way, reflect out 90 degrees, but if he's pulling it back, that would impart the movement to the chest.
So I made that a no call on the field, but I kind of feel like his arm was outside. I think I'm going to say we would take the half-point deduction here.
I'm fine with that. I support that. I'm perfectly fine with the no call. The fact that both teams stop, we'll take that point, half point.
Less than a minute later, we've got a foul that I called here, but let's watch. It's these two players are kind of battling for the ball on the ground, and then we'll see he turns, and then white kicks the ball away and then goes down. And there is, definitely, he's got white kicks his foot out, but he's not in a stable, he's kind of already kind of leaning over, so he's not stable in his stance. And you see blue kind of give him a little bit, which sends him down, but and I'm looking right between them. I'm in a credible position.
For sure.
And I did not see any kind of malicious shove. There is some chatter that happens. They start to get into it a little bit here.
Hey guys, we're good. All right. Okay. Thank you. Careful.
So, they start to get into it a little bit. The guy in blue, he's actually trying to apologize. White wanted a yellow card here.
Yeah.
For me, the warning was sufficient.
The talking to was sufficient for me as well. We haven't seen a bunch of poor behavior from the blue squad. And, if they are fouling every 30, 40 seconds, then maybe we're yellow here just for them being knuckleheads. Yeah. However, the white defender, as it is, had both feet in line with each other, which is not a super stable place to be. And as he tried to pull the back foot, which was the left foot through, he contacted the right leg of the blue player, knocking him further off balance so he couldn't get that step going forward. And then the blue's arm there just happened to be set there, and it wasn't a violent push down.
Yeah. So in the exact same minute, in fact, off of the restart from the last foul, we're going to see the white team starts to actually get a little bit tricky here. So we're going to watch this player, the ball stopped, and he's going to put it into play, and his teammate comes in, and it's like they're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to trick the blue team or they're trying to trick me. Either way, they're trying to get tricky. But we'll see right here. Now it's in play. White comes in and do it. Luckily, nobody complains there. Then the ball comes up to here. Right there, they round, and then they fall to the ground. I see blue feel his arm up under his underarm, and I see him clamp it down and then fall to the ground and pull him with it. I definitely called that. We'd had some rapid, I'd had a foul just a minute before, which was also kind of on the harder side, right? We had a kind of tricky restart. and I had this all happen in like a 15-second span, right?
Mhm.
So at this point, I guess it's debatable, should I have given a yellow card here for this one? For me, on the field at the time, I was feeling like it was just a bunch of boom, 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 and I was just like, guys, like, let's just play some soccer. And you'll even hear it here as I play the audio, I come in and I say something like that.
Guys.
So I do give the kick to white, but you'll hear them kind of arguing for their call here.
No, White
Wow,
ball.
wow. It's
White
low,
ball.
it's low. You guys dropped me. What?
I saw, which is why I'm giving you the ball.
You know, he wants a yellow. And in all honesty, looking at it here and kind of reflecting afterwards, maybe I should have given a yellow.
The thing that might help you make that decision is, as you correctly pointed out, Blue was playing the ball, made the turn, saw the arm, clamped the arm, and then stopped playing soccer.
Mm.
If you're going to stop playing soccer, and we're on a soccer field kicking a soccer ball, we're playing soccer. If we're going to modify that behavior, pop the yellow. First one's free.
So I'm feeling like here we could either take a point or we could take a half point. I think we should take something.
I support the half point.
So we'll take the half point on this one. Let us know in the comments what you
Yep.
think, but that's how we chose to do it in the game. Okay, minute 49. Ball's coming up. It's going to go to this blue player here, by the way, who is the player who committed the foul earlier by pushing a player. This white player coming in to challenge for it is the same guy who got the very first yellow and has been arguing some even at halftime.
The team captain.
Yep. So right there, there's that whole challenge. And then after the ball's away, he's saying, hey, I was hit in the mouth. But if I play this back, and we've played it probably a half dozen times here in ultra slow motion, if I play this back, like as they turn, they get kind of hung up there. They get hung up, Blue's spinning. And I never see, here they separate.
Okay.
I do see Blue's kind of elbow come up a little bit, but I never see it near.
I don't think it's the elbow. I think it's the right shoulder. As Blue's spinning through, he hits the white player.
It's just...
It's a glancing blow from the white player's left to right across his chin.
For me, though, I don't think that's a
No,
foul. I wouldn't call that. But let's listen to the audio because he's pretty adamant that he was fouled. Let's listen.
Hey! That's
Blue ball.
Hey, 1, 2, 3.
So I'm not buying what he's selling.
No.
But he was definitely trying to sell something. I walked off the field after this match thinking about that moment and wondering, did I just miss it? Because sometimes you do, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes you do.
We've all had matches in which that is the one decision I would love to see on film.
This one, though, I think that's 100% the right decision.
I do.
And I think he's just trying to... Okay, about a minute later, we end up with a straight red card for offensive and abusive language, which I think is actually our first red card for that on the channel. So,
Gosh, adults using abusive language.
I know. Let's watch here. The ball's in the corner. White's on an attack, and Blue's coming in to try to defend here. Right there, they're challenging for it. The ball's kind of loose here, and this white player, he reaches his leg out.
Yeah,
Right?
if you play this back, Scott, from here, the white player is going to try and touch it past Blue, and the ball contacts Blue. You can see White's eyes down are near the ball, and as soon as he plays it, his eyes pop up, and he hears it hit Blue, and so he would expect the charge coming, which is correct, and then after the ball would hit Blue, he would expect the ball to be in front of Blue. That's why that left leg comes out.
So, but it's definitely a foul. Right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And we call it. So now let's get to the offensive and abusive part.
Yep.
Work. So you see there, like even while he's on the ground, he yells F you at the guy, and then he gets up and he gets in his face and he says
F you again.
Right.
Guys, back off.
Guys,
Back off.
I will not do it. He totally swept my legs, and I was not doing shit.
No.
Just give 1 second.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Okay.
We're talking.
Okay.
He made a foul.
Yep.
He stood up and said, fuck you to him.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
You give me red for that?
Yep.
You just told me exactly what you said. I did.
It is true in this adult league that, there's a little more cursing going on than you would allow in a youth game, right?
Absolutely.
But to direct it in someone's face and make it
the
very...
extended finger is really what what made it for me.
They call that OFFINABUS, offensive and abusive language, is specifically called out in the laws of the game, and I felt like that was offensive and abusive to direct it at somebody. So he argues for a little bit here.
He kicked me and swept my leg.
And we called the foul.
It's okay. It's okay. No, no,
And
no.
we called
no.
the foul.
You're going to really give her...
You can't curse in his face, okay? You can't point in his face and tell him to fuck you.
He freaking took my... I don't...
And I called the foul.
He did not call the foul.
We did. Why do you think we stopped the play?
Wait, what?
So like, I've been playing this league for a million years.
Okay.
Never a red for that. A yellow 100%. I'm being totally honest.
Fine. Okay.
Can you give me a yellow?
That's a huge mistake.
So this actually carries on for like a minute, minute and a half. We're skipping over some of that. Finally, I just tell him like, look, it's like the decision's made, right? You know, this is what we're gonna do. So let's listen.
Yo, but you got in his face
that's
and
not
you
even
pointed.
touch
him.
That can't be right. That's not right.
Look, guys.
It's not.
Guys, the discussion's over. We're done.
It's a
okay?
mistake, though. That
Fine,
is a huge
fine.
mistake,
Then
you
it's
guys.
one of many that I'm going to
Somebody
make,
who
okay?
plays here, you go-
The sheer fact of the matter here is I've got the luxury of the timestamp. Scott just said that at 1:03:11. The foul was called at 1:01:06. It was 2 minutes of yammering.
Right.
Like, come on, guys. Like, do you want to play soccer or do you want to have a debate? Should we go over to Catherine's Beer Garden and have a beer while you try and convince me? Or like, come on, let's play.
Okay, minute 53, we've got some very rapid decisions, including 2 quick yellow cards. So let's watch it and break this down. So this ball is on a breakaway here, but it's kind of up for grabs. Nobody's got clear control, and these 2 players are going to challenge for it. Now, there's a hard challenge there. In my mind, though, this was shoulder to shoulder. And when I watch it here, like, there's the contact, and you can see White's right arm is back.
Yeah, you can see the bottom of the sleeve.
But then we're going to watch here, and Blue is going to lose the ball, and this White player is going to kind of get in his way, and he's going to get frustrated by that. So let's watch right there. And then as this is coming away, this ball is long since gone. It's 8-9 yards away from him now. And then he shoves this player in the back with a full arm extension.
Full
Now,
elbow extension.
you can see they were clearly upset about it because they turn around and they start kind of shoving back. So, you know, in the last couple minutes of this game, we've had a serious escalation. We've had offensive and abusive language used. We've had all of that. Now a couple of hard fouls here and one that was just completely away. So I wanted to tamp down on that right away.
Yep.
So I blow the whistle hard. I come in, I give that Blue player a yellow card for initiating this little tussle here, right? And then, you know, there's a lot of kind of, you know, stuff going on with that, but nobody really argues about this yellow.
Nope.
So I come in, it goes off screen, but we'll listen to it. So there, I'm just trying to use the whistle to get their attention.
Your assistant referee's coming off.
Yeah, he sees. Yeah, my assistant referee in the upper right-hand corner. He sees that they were starting to shove.
Yep.
So he's coming out to help me. Now everybody's kind of, you know, I give the yellow, and everybody's
like,
kind of,
yeah, it's
all right, we got it under control. And even my assistant referee now, he's like, okay, all right, it's not going to go. Now I'm going to jump forward a few seconds here because I end up explaining this to a player.
What happened? Just pushing? So after the ball was away, he shoved him in the back as he was walking away.
Okay.
So now as we're setting up to restart here, you know, there was some, you know, cursing on the field, you know, but nothing that was in somebody's face like before, right? But now, of course, because I've given 1 card for it, now the team, everybody wants one. So we actually see this player come in, and he wants to ask about that. And so I try to de-escalate that. Maybe I don't use the best way, but we end up with another yellow card here right away. Let's listen.
And then he just used profanity with no repercussions?
So I'm going to let you play. Let me referee. You're good at playing. I'm good at refereeing.
I'm not good at playing and you're not good at refereeing.
No, hey, no, none of that. Come on. All right.
his teammate there knew what was going to happen.
You know, we were talking kind of offline that you're a good player. I'm going to let you play. Just let me referee and leave that to me. That's something that I have tried to work into my games. I do struggle with it sometimes. I feel like, you know, here, did I actually escalate the situation to get him by saying that? But I do wonder, like, if I should even leave that in my toolkit.
You can't understand how the impact's going to be felt by a player who's playing an emotional game. And I get it. It didn't work this time. That's fine. Most players will go, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, and just be on with it. Did you bring it on yourself by using this? No, not a chance. You weren't looking for a fight.
Couple of minutes later, in minute 55, we have one of the more simple decisions in this game. It's happening on the far side of the field as White's trying to bring it up. Right there, it's kind of up for grabs. Blue goes in, tries to challenge for it, makes just mistimes it, sends him down. He's really good sport. He comes in. I'm worried now, I'm worried, is this going to escalate? But no, kudos to that player. He steps in, he apologizes, helps the player up. I appreciate him helping to de-escalate the game there. But
and your presence there immediately after the foul occurred, because it did look like a kind of a borderline foul.
Right.
And so I wouldn't have had yellow on that. Mm-hmm. And the fact that the player went across and tried to smooth it back over, totally great.
By the way, if you're a player and you're watching this, I will tell you as a referee, and you don't like getting up and apologizing and making a good sport of it is a way to take something like if I was on a borderline, like maybe I'm going to give a yellow. When I see that good sportsmanship, I have dialed it down and not given the yellow. Right. In minute 59, we've got a moment here that, in all honesty, I probably wouldn't have even flagged to review, except for one of the players on the field is complaining about why he didn't get a call. So we're going to review it quickly here. Blue's got the ball down here in the corner. White's coming in to challenge for it. And then right there, they kind of get tangled up. And, you can see this Blue player, he's back there. He's like, well, look at my foot. But like when I play this back, it's like Blue touches it in. White it touched his legs. I see their legs kind of get hung up, but they're not. I don't see like a step or a trip. And I even see Blue almost like grabbing him. And so they get away. I don't know what he's complaining about.
No.
Now maybe it's the angle.
Maybe.
But from this camera angle, I don't know what he's talking about.
Nope.
From my angle in the field, I don't know what he was talking about.
Nope.
So we're going to call that a good no call.
Yes.
While we've been sitting here, we actually realized that we forgot to record a goal that happened right around halftime. So the White team has actually, for the full second half up to this point, has been winning by a goal. So it's been 2-1. Now we're going to have a decision. Blue's on an attack. They're down in the corner. Pretty straightforward. Blue is just trying to shield the ball, get it over to his guy. He gets kind of bumped, gets kind of pushed. And finally, I wanted to see if he could play out of that because he had a couple of outlet passes. Mm-hmm. But I end up calling this. Off of that kick, they ended up scoring a goal here that ends up tying it. But I want to just kind of highlight, some stuff that happens just kind of as a referee. I think in the interim, we've had some substitutions, and there was even like some guys kind of shoving under, in front of the goal. So I was kind of hollering at them to get that under control. But I look over and I see that the ball is, in the corner, which you're used to those being corner kicks. And he had put it exactly where the foul was. But in my mind, I was just thinking corner kick. So I actually tell him to move it back, and then I realize my mistake. So let's listen to the audio.
Corner kicks on the arc. You know what? You're right. It was. My bad. That's my bad.
So, yeah, he's like, but it was a foul.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. As referees, we are judge, jury, and executioner. Our decisions are what goes. Do we mess up? Yeah. As soon as you realize that, you kind of screwed the pooch, man, go ahead and own it. Yep, messed it up. Go ahead and leave the ball where it's at, and then just play ball.
As this game goes on, there's a lot of stuff kind of happening around me, right? Obviously the temperature is going way up in this game, and I'm starting to see some chippiness out of the corner of my eye. So it's one thing like when it's around the ball and it's got my primary attention. It's another thing when you worry about or stuff happening behind you, where they're intentionally behind your back.
Yep.
So I wait for a convenient spot. This White player is going to kick it way out of bounds, so I know it's going to take him a little bit to go retrieve it, and then I go and ask for some help from my AR. So let's listen here.
Hold it. Hey, Henry. There's a lot of stuff having away from the ball. Help me watch for stuff behind my back, okay?
Okay. As a center referee, you're focused on the ball and the things happening around the ball. The front side, the lead assistant referee is concerned with the offside line, and the backside referee should be cleaning up on the backside of the play, making sure that there's no fun business happening. And the fact that you're calling it out lets Henry know that he's got a little bit of an increase in his demand,
Yeah.
and the fact that you understand, Scott, as a center referee, that the temperature is going up and we need to be aware.
All right, minute 64, we've got another kind of major turning point in this game. End up giving a second yellow to the team captain for the white team, which obviously then gets him the red, but it's actually for something that happens on his bench. So I've got it in panoramic mode because unfortunately with the way that the camera panned and everything, it ends up missing that. And I'll explain some here in this view, and then we'll switch over to the other one where I've got the audio from the field so that you can actually hear what's said. But just to kind of give the lay of the land, the white team bench is over here. And again, they've been loud at times, particularly early in the match. And there was a woman who was not part of the team, but also some of the other players, you know, they had been loud early in the game. And I had told the team captain, I'm going to hold you responsible for what your spectators are doing, right? As this is happening, there is quite a bit of chatter coming from the sideline, and particularly the woman who I have no idea who she was, but she was very loud, and we'll hear it when we go over to the audio. But there is a blue player here. I think he was the captain of the blue team. He goes over and he actually asks to speak with the captain of the white team. Now, I only saw that out of the corner of my eye, but you see the team manager for the white team comes over. They're kind of talking. I look at them and I see, is there a confrontation happening? And I don't see in any of the body language anything that says confrontation. These players out here are also talking to me, basically saying, hey, do you hear what she's saying? Do you hear what she's saying? I kind of decide here that I'm going to end up stopping play soon and dealing with this. But then I see white gets a breakaway, right? And in this moment, this white picking the ball up, this player would normally be in an offside position, except for the blue player who went over to have the discussion with the sideline keeps him onside. And so now it's onside. It's a good breakaway. I decide I'm not going to stop it for that, but I'm going to let that play out, which it does. He ends up getting a shot on goal. But then after all of that happens, now the female on the other side, she really she starts laughing at the blue players, and she even does the full one finger salute on the sideline. So at this point I decide, you know what, that's enough. We're done. Call the captain over. He comes running out. So he comes out here. This is where I give him the yellow. Then because that's a yellow now, and now it's his second yellow, so now he gets a red card. Let's jump over to where I've got the field audio, and unfortunately you won't be able to see that here, but we'll be able to.
Yes.
Gotta go, man.
So you hear her there saying quite a bit of stuff, and that's all while that team captain.
And you've already raised your left arm to your mouth as if you're going to blow your whistle.
Right. Now the player over here, he's walking beside me, he's like, do you hear what she says?
Yeah, I hear.
I was kind of there. I decided I was going to do something. I hadn't decided exactly what, but I see this breakaway, and
No, on the left. He kept him on.
and then you hear her do the loud ha ha ha, and that's the moment that she flies the one finger salute. Mm-hmm. So then I end up calling the captain out.
What?
I told you were responsible for your sideline.
My sideline?
Yes, and the girl just flipped off the players on the field.
No.
He go
Yes,
outside.
she did.
He go outside.
He go outside.
He go outside. The guy.
He go outside. That's not a fair.
And the back, he go outside on the line.
Guys,
He's talking to your guys' coach,
He's
though.
not fair. He's not fair. You know it's not fair.
So after talking to him, giving him the card, of course he's arguing it's not fair. My assistant referees are kind of collapsing in to help me with the situation. He continues to kind of argue how it's not fair for a little while here, but we have a discussion. They try to say that somebody on the field was making a lewd gesture to the woman, but we do talk about that. So let's listen here.
I informed him after the first yellow that he was responsible for the sideline. She just flipped off the players on the field, so he gets a second yellow. Now,
is the same for the
guy.
I will call everything that I saw.
Yeah, because she asked you with
I will call everything that I saw,
But she
and if
asked
I didn't
for it.
see
It's
it,
not fair.
if I see if I see that, I'll deal with it. Did you see her doing? Did you see the blue players doing anything lewd to the girl?
I only heard the girl say something, but I didn't hear about that one.
And did you see them making any lewd, like grabbing their crotch or anything? Okay. All right.
But you listen he did this for the girl and say yes to
So,
you for you.
so we're asking. None of us saw that. Okay. All
So
right.
he can go to the jail for that. You know.
I will watch. If I see it, I'll deal with it. I agree. If he did it, I agree. It would be very bad. But none of us saw it. Okay.
Respect, you know. He should be out of the camp, but he did that. You know, like we are using the rules for one team, you know, for the another one. You know?
But the problem is sometimes
Guys,
you just think
guys,
about our
it's over.
team.
It's over. It's done.
Sometimes you just see something about our team
It's
and not
done.
see something
You will get
about the
additional
other one.
game suspensions if you stay on the field. Okay. Please, just leave.
It's not fair.
It's horrible. You called the foul. It wasn't even a foul. 3 minutes ago.
Right.
Would you guys like to play soccer? That's 5 minutes of the game that they've lost. They've lost 6% of this game for just yammering about nothing.
You could argue whether or not I managed this correctly here. Is it correct to give the yellow card to the captain here? But I also, I told him in the first half, you're responsible for your side. I just followed through on what I told him I would do.
Yes, and that's the key thing, Scott, is when we say things like the next one is going to be a blah, 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 we better damn well make sure the next one is whatever we just said it was, or else we're eroding our own credibility.
So we'll call that the right decision for the call. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you think we could have or should have managed, or if you got suggestions of how to improve that, always open to that. Carrying on to minute 58, we've got a challenge for the ball between this white player who had possession and Blue's trying to come in and steal it from him. From this angle, it's difficult to see, but I honestly felt like this white player gave an extra push. Like it wasn't just that shoulder to shoulder with some normal kind of, how your arms would normally go. I felt like he intentionally shoved this player off. So I ended up calling that and gave the ball to Black. That's one of those, in a less heated game, I may have let go, but I wanted to call that.
Yep, absolutely. As the temperature goes up, we as referees need to become more and more black and white by the book. If the temperature is low, we can play that gray area all day. But as soon as the temperature is going up, our game management is threatened. We got to be calling it by the book, the black and white, and that's it.
Yep. In minute 69, we've got an offside call that's pretty textbook. So the White's bringing it up the side. Kind of right there is when he sends the ball. So we can see that this White attacker, he's right there on the, what would that be, the 25-yard line. Stepped over it a little bit, in fact. Or at least his foot's on it, but his body's a little bit over it. And the second to last defender's right here and clearly behind that 25.
Yes, he is.
So I won't even have to add my yellow line this time. That's
no
right
yellow
there.
line.
In minute 74, we've got the go-ahead goal by the blue team, but the ball is going to go down, and the white team thinks it goes out of bounds before they bring it back for a goal. Blue thinks it's in. We can't see that and judge it one way or another from this camera, so we're not even going to try to make a judgment of whether or not that call is correct. But we'll see it right here. That's where they think it went out. He brings it back over. They score, right? Okay. I end up looking over at my assistant referee. My assistant referee gives a signal for a goal, right? I signal for a goal. But the white team's all over here saying, no, it went out of bounds. It went out of bounds. So I decide, you know what? For game management, I'm going to go over and I'm going to talk to my assistant referee. And then we'll listen to what was said. Now, as I was running over, Hung made this signal like this to me. And he was trying to say it was in by this much and just with his signal. But I go ahead and I get over to him.
So to me, it looked in. And you're saying it was in as well?
Yes, in. Yeah.
It's a goal.
I don't know why, but there's a discussion that happens here with the white team who was just scored on.
A little bit out. He's out. Completely out.
The ball's got to be
A little
completely
bit.
over.
He saw.
He's saying it's a little bit on the line.
Off. He told you.
Oh, he just talked about it, dude.
Like, obviously, we just talked about it, so I wouldn't be saying it's a goal if he had told me it was out. But
Absolutely. Yeah. As an assistant referee, if you've got an extra piece of information and your referee's coming to you, allow that referee to get there, because the referee's coming with a question or a situation or something to ask you in mind such that we can shut the door on this. The extra seconds that we'll save by seeing a visual or a demonstration of what happened can be misinterpreted, as we just saw. So Scott had to manage through a situation that wouldn't have arisen had the assistant referee simply waited for Scott to get there and allowed Scott to say, I've got it in, what have you got?
Okay, minute 75. We've got a really straightforward call here. So the ball is here in the middle of the screen, 2 players challenging for it, and then right there, White just clips him on the ankle. All right, minute 78, final decision of the match. So we've got another really straightforward trip. Right here, the ball's up for grabs. Blue comes through, gets clipped on the ankle. Very straightforward. Absolutely no controversy on that one. And that ended up being the last call of the game. So that was a lively one. I will say this game, I haven't reviewed any of the other Adult League games. Adult League games have a tendency, it's like you'll do 4 of them and 3 of them, everybody's just friendly. They're out there having a good time. And then you will have that one where they just want to push each other's
World Cup
buttons,
final.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
This was a challenging game from a game management standpoint. I will tell you, I good off the field on this one feeling like I had a pretty good game.
Good.
Like I felt good about this.
Yeah, you managed some hot situations. The temperature came up. You sat on the game and were able to tamp the temperature back down. You dealt with a couple of situations that we don't normally see in the youth game.
So let's see how our SAPR score turned out. So with 34 decisions and 2.5 deductions, that gives us a final SAPR score of 92.6%. So this is, it's not a great game, but it is a good game and borderlining on great. So
yeah, call it a good plus game. A good plus. Good plus.
That's good. And maybe at some point, we should reevaluate the ranges. Chris, really appreciate the time that you invest coming out. I get something out of it every single time.
And the reviewing the adult matches are where we're going to see a lot of our game management skills come out, where newer referees probably haven't even thought of these techniques to help them manage at the youth level. And if they can see more experienced referees using it here, they can bend it to their will and use it a little bit lower to help them develop their career.
Well, join us back here for our next upload. But I'm Scott.
I'm Chris.
And we'll see you out on the pitch. And we are recording the game review from March 24th with Scott and Chris Interdilly on the day of the eclipse.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Which means in about an hour we will be going outside to check it out. Yeah. Okay.
40.
That's funny. The dog just started barking and the eclipse just began.
Oh, wow.
That is funny.
It
might be coincidental,
but
it's super interesting.
The eclipse.
Right? It's neat.
There we go.
We did our solar report for today.
All right, solar eclipse 2024.
Right in the book.
Thank you. So you see this guy running out here? That's the captain who. So he's coming out to find me. And this guy's the guy, the handball guy.
Oh, gosh.
But like that one, I think I was maybe here when it hit me in the hand. And then in your arm, you're showing me your arm like this. So. It's below my waist. It's a natural position.
What's funny is I said it's behind and I looked up there and you're flipping me off. It's great.
Those are my siblings.
Oh, my. No. Good Lord, bro. Cookie cutter. Holy smoke. You're in the lower left.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not bald.
What did I don't know what you might have done when you were younger. That's your younger brother? Please say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
how is she even still on the field?
I'm wondering the same thing about you.
Seriously?
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.